Alright peeps, welcome back to Under Pressure. You join us in a very special episode because this episode we are completing the Infinity River. And that's going to involve building a hell of a lot of infrastructure above ground and beneath ground here. We thankfully have our sluices in here, although they are closed at the moment, so the old Infinity River is non-operational. But thanks to our vast underground network and highly engineered aqueducts and underground river systems, we have irrigation and bad water repulsion system the MiGly Place channel has ever seen. I mean, that doesn't mean it's not without its mistakes. For example, this bit of the old Infinity River that we're building has an awful design flaw where we're going to waste blocks of volume that we could be utilising. Let's see if we pop some sluicy deuces on there and then levied up the tippity top. We now can empty to the very bottom of this layer here. Which, yeah, no, it is only 2 blocks, but it's 2 blocks more than out, isn't it? And I am going to set these to be closed once they're built. And on top of that, I got a mad comment in the last episode that advised, instead of using bloody platforms and impermeable floors, which is leading to a massive shortage of planks and metal blocks. Now through this side of the tunnel, I'm only going to be deleting back to about here. And the reason why we got into there is because we may end up doing something with this area. You know, we don't want to block off all of our options. But for now, I'm just going to real casually slap loads of bloody dirt on top here. Because not only will I keep the pressure of our Infinity River in, it will be all green and irrigated. By design, because it'll have water flowing through it 24/7. Not only that, but when it's completed, it'll create an unnatural natural land bridge for the beavers to get straight through the tunnel for the first time in Under Pressure's history. And I do believe that's the industrial estate all pressure ready. Well, once it's all banged in, it will be. Since we've got double figure planks and triple figure treated planks, we're going to pop a fancy pan staircase all the way up there, and that's how beavers are going to access and build this whole shebang. Or at least it will be once beavers have built these 2 platforms, so they can get this block in, which will allow them to get these blocks in, which will then allow them to get all of this connected up and build the whole tunnel through. Now I also want to do the very same hour here, so beavers get to picking up all this rubble. Now behold, not all the beavers collecting all the bloody garbage, the big old Infinity River. We've got potential plans over yonder way, and we've got dirt over yonder way covering the entire thing. Now I am pretty confident that this is not going to get built, because these bloody supporting double platforms are in the middle here, and I'm pretty confident there's no real way for beavers to access them. Therefore, I made it high priority, so we can bloody find out. Tell you what, like, I do love a good old busy zip line. Look at them all gone. They gone down here to drop it off in the warehouse, and then they gone straight back up the plethora of zip lines. We're getting proper efficient over here. Oh, speaking of proper efficient, how are our proper efficient beavers staying? Down here. Ooh, I think you've basically got it in, haven't yous? Why, aye, there's only a couple of blickety blocks left and we'll be giraffing. So we've got 16 days left of this drought. To get the Infinity River up and running, we of course need to be spilling the old kidney bean reservoir, which we should be fairly close to doing. If we get lucky with a temperate season, we will definitely be doing it. And as our supervisor Beaver here is overseeing the construction of the pressurised chute with water slopper on top, which does remind me, I need to pop a bit of dirt on there, and then realise that I misaligned it, so we need to get a second dirt on there, which of course we can't, because supervisor's in the way, and I'm not going to be deleting the supervisor's shack until all this work is done. But if nothing else, the fancy in the cliff housing estate extension is all connected up. Well, that's bloody being blown up and plopped in at least, into a fancy pants OG housing estate, which, speaking of, if I can get doing these stairs, Because if the Infinity River works, I've got a new decal we're going to be popping on here. And of course the Infinity River's going to work. So this is your last episode to guess what this tail painting represents. Until I make it easier. There's less glory involved, isn't it, if it's made easier? I'm definitely enjoying the whole tail painting thing way too much, like. Oh, look at that. Beavers have got Alice in, which means we can reclaim some more planks and fill in the gap. Make sure we've got plenty of pressure. Oh, it looks like the beavers have got the bloody impermeable floors all the way under the power shafts, so they're not going to leak. And for the first time in beaver history, let's send a path all the way through the bloody tunnel. Oh, this used to be the power tunnel, then it was the bad water tunnel, still power tunnel, and now it's the Infinity River tunnel with grassy avenue on top. And would you look at that, it even connects in down the bottom. But it is grand to see our beavers busily banging away down here, because this is rather important. All of this lower section is the most important part, because once this goes, it's bloody going infinitely. And we'd kind of be having bloody pressure popping out the taddy pit. V2 now, can we? I had a bloody think thought between episodes. If this is the tatty pit, V2, what a blooming heck are all of these trees in here? But don't get us wrong, I enjoy a pocket of dandelions and blueberries like any other beaver, but we have ground available where we're already grown loads of trees. Oh, and the fact that we got this bad lad in means that when we next get water flowing out of here, which happens straight away now, because if we dive in the hill here, you'll see that it's right above our bloody water sources, and it comes, well, straight out. Since our log supply is dwindling somewhat, we should probably make sure we pick up the logs from those cheaty handy dandy small houses. Oh, and look, we've got all of this covered now. So the water that's currently in here is fully isolated. It's all by itself. Which does have me thinking, maybe we should go ahead and delete this sluice here. Because the purpose of this sluice was to stop the big old kidney bean reservoir, which is this laddie here that looks like a kidney bean, which we then connected in to this big old reservoir, which we then diverted the bloody sources down here to create this big old reservoir. Yeah! Saying that, even just on the face of it, we got a huge reservoir, and that's not including the fact that we blasted a one-way tunnel through there with some sluices, and then up an hour from there, we get fed from underneath via some more bloody sluices down here. Say that, in a nutshell, I didn't want all of this surface water here to go down this big old plug hole that we had, and just being utterly wasted down here. But now that we've got our brand new Infinity River infrastructure in, or down here, plus the fact we're popping sluices in here now, the second the water level dips below there, it's useless to our reservoir anyway, and it's not going to flow back down the bloody plug hole, is it? So, long-winded way of saying, beavers, can you delete this please, and real casually pick it up? And at the same time, we can connect a non-connecting path in there. Did you see it didn't have any bloody lines on it? Oh, the break's up here. Well, that's easy to fix, isn't it? Sorted. And now the sluice guts can be picked up by our brave builder beavers gone all the way to the bippity bottom of the map. I did notice. Look at that water. Oh no! It's not in yet! The sluices are not on in yet! MiGly! Beavers, this is all maximum priority. Get amongst it! And I mean like a speedy up type of get amongst it! We really need these sluices in, beavers! The plug hole that I just spent 5 minutes explaining why it's a bad thing is now a real bad thing! About abrupt end to speedy up bit, and it's not because of that side banging I saw. I do believe what I've just done there is segregated this completely. We can't get what I'm doing in a ruined, which will be easier to see if I just take the world layers down. And due to the already built up nature of this area, we're going to have to whip out some tunnels to allow our sluices to exist. So I'm going to pop a sluice where this platform is, and that will allow water from back here to go past the old blockage. Or the new blockage to be more precise. Proper beaver made magnificence. Ooh, would you look at this? We have a hauler for some reason, not taking the expressway, but taking the bridge that we redesigned 5 and a bit times. Oh, they got under They got in the bloody tunnel! Oh, yes! I love there's still a reason to use that. That's why there's no sluices there. Well, one of the reasons why there's no sluices there. The other reasons are probably apparent now. There's no reason we're going to have all the flow. Our beavers how you doing tune, yeah! Well, I was mistaken, wasn't I? You can reach all of that. And this is absolutely terrible, this like. I do it every time. This just needs to simply be... Why are you waiting on something? You're on an effing platform, mate. How can't I delete these two? Is it this... What? Nah, I like... But now it can be... What? Yep, okay. Okay. Tell you what, like, building these dirt blocks is genuinely my kryptonite. Like, I always misunderstand it, if only just a little bit. Hey, any reason we've got a lot of injured beavers not going to boot here? And 21 beavers without a D, hang a boot? Who's these 21 beavers and where he is living? Of course, the Carrot Corner. The Carrot Corner, that's got haulers filling up the newly built grilled chestnut storage. Hang on, we got 4 stranded beavers. How? Oh, beavers! The most special of creatures. Now, surely the beavers won't have any issues with that at all. Oh, what beavers! Get your horses out of your fancy pants grill top hill oozes, because I have a question regarding this large water slurper. Is it working? Doesn't look like it is. Are the beavers in there? They are. And it isn't slurping and it's not full on storage. Therefore, I'm going to say we're going to pause this bad lad when we get to less than 0.10. Which will be 0.11, yes. When we get to 0.10, it pauses. And of course, it does leave a tiny bit of time where we're not technically slurping anything. However, we've just discovered that that was already the case. Anywho, we were just oblivious to it. And that's allowed us to fully fill our hauling post here and the grill top hill. I bloody love the grill top hill as like, has to be one of my favourite little settlements. Especially because they're not all complaining about being thirsty and hungry and that. And the land keeps being not irrigated because I keep needing, for now at least, to get this sluice back to auto and hope it actually closes this time. Because if it doesn't, we're going to have some serious flooding. But for now, I just want to do a bit of a speed 3 until we get all of this greenery back here. You know what? I'm going to do a speed 4 until we get the greenery back. There it goes. And we can go back to speed 3 and check on my beaver's progress hour here. Oh no. Oh no. That's right. We definitely have any sort of floodgates on here to keep the water in. Oh, it's going to go down, it's going to go under, it's going to go down once again. Which means that sluice is essentially going to remain open until it fills up this entire block. And then most of this entire block here. Oh, there it goes. So long, water. Piss yourself out of those edges. And very quickly fill up this bit repaired creeper hole here. Blew my neck, it actually filled it up straight away. Well, in that case, you should be switching off, Mr. Sluice. Let's go back through here and see what this sluice is doing. Now it is closing. It looks like the water was stopping there. I'll tell you what, I'll go into speed 4 here and we'll be able to observe it opening and closing, and now, oh, finally actually closed. So, maybe an update from the last episode. The sluice does eventually close. Eventually. Paying that bloody keyword there. Oh, look at all of this wasted water. Absolutely wasted. And we need out of the level in the reservoir to our spill and start this infinity river off. That's the most difficult thing with any infinity project. Actually getting it kick-started. Oh yeah, that's right. We're going to be replanting chestnuts and maple trees over yonder way. So naturally, near the floodgate system that we've just built, we're going to be chestnutting it up. Then this is actually perfect because I want all of these green oaks that we've got here to turn into maple trees and chestnut trees. And to pick up from the speedy up bit, did the beavers build this correctly? Did the shite? Why would they? It's absolutely silly to think they would. Anywho, beavers, you just continue cracking on building all of that and we'll fix this at some point in the future, I suppose, maybe, probably. Yeah, if it's necessary, we'll fix it. That is the true Timberborn way, like. And I do believe we have a bit of dynamite up here to explode, which was not what I was after. But when you see something like that, you can't just not bloody blow it up now, can you? Now, we'll leave this a bit of a lower priority job because, you know, beavers can't really live there at the moment. But before I forget what I wanted to use that space for, we'll make sure the hose is in. Now, all of these injured beavers are coming from the mine. We might have to think about doing something about that, like. But not this episode. This episode is all about this infinity river and this large water pump that's been bloody built. Therefore, why don't we go 3 grafters in there, prioritised by haulers. Oh, that's right, yeah. It's not actually anywhere yet, because the supervisor needs to supervise the chopping and doing of all of this wood before we can actually do something. Oh, quick, the supervisor left his post. Delete his building. Ha! Unsupervised building. This is how it's done. The beavers won't have a Scooby-Doo what's going on. Now, the historical pines have to remain. That's a beaver heritage site right there. And although they haven't been useful for quite some time, they are about to be. Or at least once this bloody tree grows up and gets chopped down, I'll be able to make use of these bloody pines. Oh, most importantly, we need to get our contemplation spots back up and running, so our beavers can contemplate about this new infinity river that they've been told about. And I'm also going to put a 3rd contemplation spot up here, and we're just going to figure out how we get to it at some other point in time. Don't worry about it. I'm not. And for those of you that spied the old 4th contemplation spot location, don't bloody be so close-minded. Some things have a higher priority, like popping in a big old cupcake propaganda banner right at the top of the taddy pit. V2. So I'm basically anywhere in the taddy pit, you gotta see the cupcake looking down upon you. Oh, I actually had to think about, should I do that or should I go contemplation spot, because you know how much I love contemplation spots, like. And I love this so very much. You know what? That's our next high priority dirt build. I'm wanting this tunnel green, and naturally we're going to do that in a bit of a speedy up bit with a mild surprise. I didn't realise that putting the bloody treated flag factory in here blocked half of the surprise, but half of it will still be visible. Didn't you worry. And can any of ye keen-eyed beavers spy the wee addition that I plopped in? Now, you would have seen it be built in the speedy up bit, but I made it maximum priority and then had to faff about for ages to get the angle just right, so you accidentally missed it. So you'll just have to do the old what was there before and what's new, and how many beavers are swinging in this new block that I popped in. And other than queues for the new swinging attraction, we seem to have ourselves a bit of a rooftop terrace party situation and all. Now the next thing I want to see is this whole tunnel go and become green. Bonus bit of speedy up bit where we replace the 1 floodgate with 3 floodgates and 6 emergency sluices, just in case. Now, I don't know if you've noticed during that speedy up bit, but I sort of messed up by not putting this platform in, and the water level just stopped before it tipped over the edge when there was nothing to stop it. That was due to the drought we're in now. Bloody 18 days of it. This is going to be an absolute nightmare. Particularly because I do not have very long to record this episode. And I didn't want to be too sweaty like the bloody carrot cornerers here, because I've just got out the bath. I'll have to have another bath. Therefore, we're going to dive straight back into another speedy up bit. But this one's a bit different. This one is all about keeping the colony going and doing it at Tatty Pit V2. We've got a bunch of builders doing there, the bottom right, smashing all of those dirty little prickly bushes away. And then we've got beavers on the left, planting all the bloody tatties. And that's not to mention the lumberjacks in the middle, chomping down the forest to make room for more bloody tatty plantation. I completely forgot. We're going to be getting the bloody central water slurp up and running, because those 2 up the left, they are controlled by a stream gauge. I'll show you that after. Oh, and I also updated the other stream gauge, so it pauses below 0.11 and unpauses above 0.11. So it wasn't constantly in a pause-unpause loop, which may or may not have been lagging the game. Depends how the mod's been made. And this speedy up bit is also going to last the entire rest of this drought, because I am far too keen to see this bloody Infinity River up and running like. It has to happen. And as I said earlier, it has to happen rather sharpish. And to make it last the rest of the drought, we're going to do a big old fade until we get a tight change pop up. Forgive if the fancy fade's slightly different. I forgot to save the camera state and then move the bloody camera, didn't I? But if nothing else, we can detonate this block away. It was only to get our and build this in the first place. But yeah, now we seem to be having a bit of an issue in the tatty bit. V2. I mean, you see how slow that beaver was zipping along there? And all of these thirsty beavers are not because they're yet to get to the water tanks. We have 0 water in the tatty pit. V2. And you know what? It's a perfect little cliffhanger ending to this episode. I can even not fully lie in the speedy up bit and show you that these are all automatically paused and will automatically unpause themselves thanks to this big stream gauge we got going on. And I could probably go ahead and pause a lot of jobs over here, couldn't I? Due to the complete lack of water. The beavers are busy banging away, putting the final touches on the big, fancy Infinity River. But regardless of what detrimental circumstances we end this episode on, I hope you've bloody enjoyed it. And I'm going to go ahead and contemplate about how we are going to even attempt to save this beautiful tatty pit. V2. Oh yeah, and added some bonus excavators at the back. We'll zoom in on it when I go toodle beep.